The Do This podcast is part of the Win, Make, Give podcast network. Join Chad Hyams as he talks with Christin Kingsbury about building a successful real estate career while prioritizing family and authentic relationships. Christin is a seasoned real estate professional in Arizona with nearly 2 decades of experience in the industry. In this episode, they discuss the importance of creating a supportive team culture, setting clear standards, and maintaining a competitive edge through collaboration. Tune in for insightful strategies to enhance both your business and personal life. We hope you enjoy this episode of the Do This podcast.
Hey everybody, it's Chad Hyams. Sorry we're running a minute or two late. That's what happens when we let Bob take time away, because we usually count on him and Corey. So they, of course, made life difficult for all of us. Yet Christin and I are here for you today. Don't mind Christin in the little, I'm on my phone camera, it looks like. So she's going to give us that lovely camera shot that comes from the phone. Christin, can you hear us at least?
Hear you. I can log in from my computer, but you text this to my phone and the other link wasn't working.
Okay, so you're here. We don't care, right? People know how to do this. They just pivot and get done what needs to be done, and that's you on the phone. So we are excited to get started on this. Let's jump right into this. Christin, Bob and I don't do bios and all that stuff. Let everybody know who you are, where you are, why you are, etc.
You know what? I am a mom and a wife, and I am out of Arizona. So run a place team over this direction. Have been in the industry for like 18 years now, and every day just learning things. But first off, a mom, then a wife, and then I run a team.
I got to give you props for saying that, right? Because here we are on a real estate call. We're clearly talking about real estate success. And yet when asked who you are, no, you're a mom and a wife first and foremost. Folks, if you get nothing from today's call, you just got the most important thing from today's call. Do this, be the parent, be the partner that you have chosen to be in life. Real estate is an occupation, not your identity. So Christin, thank you for sharing that. Where in Arizona, if they want to send you referrals so they know what territory is yours?
I'm smack dab in the middle in Prescott, but I have agents in Phoenix, agents in Tucson, agents in Flagstaff. So we're kind of spread out across the state.
So folks, you don't have to worry about where. She's got you covered in the state of Arizona.
We got you. Yeah.
There you go. You're in the cold part.
Today, not so much. 100 degrees, but not super hot.
Well, that's cold for Arizona at this time of year.
Yeah.
Okay. Christin, we're going to get into so many things. And I want to just ask you, what has your team done differently? And we'll take it from there. Yet, for you, there's somewhere I specifically want to start, because audience, you might not know how we do this, right? Dave Wiggs, who is amazing. If you ever get the chance to meet Dave Wiggs, to message Dave Wiggs, you tell him thank you, because you don't realize how much he is doing behind the scenes, not just for these calls, for Brivity, right? Yeah. For all of that's out there. Dave Wiggs, you are a hero. What happens is Dave does like a screening interview before we get to this, right? And then we frustrate Dave because Bob and I just throw the questions out and we don't care what Dave's already prepared. Yet in the notes for your session today, there is a quote, and I've got to start with this quote, and I've got to hear how you tell me about this. Nobody wants to hear from mom all the time, but they'll run through a wall when Ben is proud of them.
Oh, that's funny. I was just from running a team for years. It's like that old Charlie Brown, wah, wah, wah. Like when you're running the team and you're trying to inspire and they hear from you every single day. Sometimes we just got to bring in other leadership. And every once in a while, I drop Ben's name and remind them that we're all partners in this and we're working together. And so they get super excited when they're making Ben proud. I think that's pretty common in our world. But, just to leverage the amazing talent around you and to let them pour into your people and inspire your people too, because they don't want to hear from you every single day.
Yeah, that's such a great point for a leader to remember. We believe when we're in the leadership role, when we're the leader, you're highly successful. Yet when they see you every day, you turn into Charlie Brown's teacher. And I love that description. And sometimes You need to bring somebody from somewhere else. We're never an expert in our own backyard, as they say,
Yeah.
and they'll say the exact same things, won't they? And
Yeah.
your agents will go, it's like they've
Did you
never
hear?
heard it.
Yeah. Did you hear that? That was amazing. You're like, I've said this 10,000 times, but yet they hear it when somebody else does. So leverage that, leverage those relationships and bring them in.
There you go. So, audience, if you're here and you hear that, connect with each other in the chat, right? Say, hey, who's an expert? Who can I bring onto one of my team meetings? Who can I bring into my area through Zoom or whatever it is? Reach out to myself, to Bob, to Dave Wiggs, and see if maybe there's somebody from the team who can jump in and share some thoughts, share some information that you're like, I never thought I could get Bob Stewart, right? Who knows what you could do? Reach out and ask. Okay. All right. Now let's get to the stuff that we're supposed to cover today. Kristen,
Yes.
what are you guys doing that is taking your business to where it is? What would you say are those one or two key things that we can teach the audience today to do this?
I feel like a culture of collaboration. And I was just telling my team this morning how fun it is to lead when they're all supporting each other and cheering each other on. We have a daily chat that we share our wins and we cheer each other on, but we also have a culture of like, hey, if you need to learn something, come along with me, or, just real support. And so when one of us is having a bad day and just doesn't feel like doing the thing, the other one of us is kicking them in the butt, saying, nope, come on, let's go. And so we just keep momentum by tapping into that kind of a culture, but also by leveraging the culture of place and things like contests and just you get beat up in this industry. And there are days when it's like, oh, I don't want to wake up and do this again, and you can feel that way. And to have people around you, one of my agents this morning on the call said, I think if I was a solo agent, this wouldn't be working for me because you guys stretch me and you guys pull me and you guys push me. And if it were this hard day to day as an agent, I don't know that I would be doing the thing. So I would say we leverage the culture.
Okay, and I want to talk about that because there are some solo agents that are going to be on this call, and
Yeah.
solo agents, just because you're not on a team doesn't mean you can't build a team.
A community, yeah.
Right? The community might be a good word so they understand the difference there, right? You can still have other agents that are solo agents that you're all around. One of the things you said is when someone's having a bad day, the other people pick them up.
Yeah.
I want you to talk about that just a little because it's so easy when someone's having a bad day to pull everybody else down.
Mm-hmm.
How have you built a culture and a community that it's defaulted to know we are going to lift you up, not allow you to pull us down?
Oh, that's a good question. I think by being authentic and walking with them through hard things. When I'm getting my butt kicked, I'm right there getting my butt kicked and they're picking me up. And so, number one, just creating a reality that nobody gets out of life easy. It's always going to be hard at times. And also just um, having kind of a culture of no excuses. Life is always hard. Come on, let's go. We got you. Like at least win a little every single day because those little wins build confidence and that's what creates momentum.
Okay. And you mentioned plugging into contests and challenges and things like that. Sometimes those can backfire because then it becomes a competitive environment, yet it seems you have a supportive environment. How have you been able to craft that type of environment, even with competitions and challenges, so that it doesn't become competitive amongst agents?
I think our agents getting to know each other and really caring about the success of each other. When you want your partner to win, it's not a competition. It's like, hey, come along with me. Yes, I'm kicking butt. You better pass me. But I sincerely want you to win. I sincerely want to see you thrive and your family be blessed. And so I think when they have that connection to each other, then they run alongside each other and, like I say, pick each other up and keep going versus be competitive. It's not against each other. It's, hey, we want to win together and we want to show up together.
Okay, so now let me throw the Brivity thing in you. How are you using Brivity to help make that happen? Are you
I'm just
using the scoreboard? Are you just looking at their numbers behind the scenes and calling it out? How are you using the tools provided through Brivity to elevate those challenges and that community?
Yep. On our team group chat, every single day we call out calls who's at the head of the leaderboard. And the cool part is it's not always the same person, because I think that can get really deflating if it's always the same person winning. And so when we celebrate small wins versus just the closings or something like that, it gives everybody a chance to be on the leaderboard, to get the win, to cheer each other on, which then just creates the momentum. But yeah, we check the board every single day at the end of the day, and we shout out people who are winning and doing, the daily 10 or the day in the life of Brivity, and who's winning at calls. And it just is a standard of our daily practice, and we cheer each other on and high five each other. We operate primarily remotely, so we're not even physically in the same office or things like that. That has been a little bit of a challenge to figure out how to build a culture remotely. But again, when we have this group camaraderie and we are checking the tasks and checking the scorecards, we do meet monthly with our Brivity rep to make sure, like, hey, where are we sucking this month and where could we do better? What are we winning at? And we just know that it's a work in progress. And every day we're trying to get better. We're, far from perfect in a lot of places. And yet we do some things very, very well. And so it's a matter of being consistent at the things we're doing well. And then a little bit at a time, inching towards being better in those places that maybe we've fallen short.
Love that answer. You said a word in there that set sparks flying in my head. It's a word we've heard often on the Do This call, and the word you said was standards.
Yeah.
And you said it's a standard. Do you have, obviously, a list of standards? And then how do you get buy-in to the standards of the team to make sure everybody knows what they are and is living by them?
Good question. The day in the life of Brivity is a super easy standard. Like that, getting off the morning call. So we do our morning huddle every single morning. We start our mornings with gratitude. We meet together online in that space.
Time out. You start your day with a morning call.
Yes.
Is it a standard they're supposed to be on the call?
Yes.
Do they always make the call?
Most of the time, but not always. Okay. And I'll tell you, as a leader, if I don't show up, it starts to set the standard that they don't have to show up. So it starts with me. It starts with me. But yes, it is an every single day thing. And then on Fridays, on our Friday call with the entire Place Nation. So yeah, that's part of what we do every single day. And by not starting our day that way, we then, if we don't start our day that way, we don't flow into the productive activities right after.
So you're not getting the, oh, I overslept, or, oh, I'm running behind because of my kid. You're not getting those excuses regularly. And maybe now and then they're truly happening. Yet people on your team know it's a standard. You're going to be on the call at 8:30, whatever time you have it for.
Yeah. And I give a little nice smart aleckness to, like, when everybody's running and everybody's showing up and everybody has their life challenges, there's really no room for wimpy excuses, So if they don't show up, there's usually a really good reason. And it's typically money generating or a doctor's appointment that they couldn't reschedule. But other than that, there's not no, I just can't show up because I didn't feel like making it. And as a matter of fact, I reward good behavior. So, and I know that sounds silly, but maybe that's just the mom in me. If you're doing the things and you're in the rhythm, and that's our whole plan is like create a rhythm that you can sustain. If you're doing the things and in the rhythm that keeps you productive in the business, then when a lead comes through to me or I have a referral thrown at me, you're the first person on my mind. I see your face every day. I know that you're going to show up. I know you're going to take. So you actually like indirectly get better carrots just because I see you. You're the first person on my mind. Here's one that I'm going to hand off to you. And so it provides better opportunities.
Okay. So standard one is, of course, be on that call. Then they're getting into the Brivity day in a life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Bob's talked about it. We've covered the Brivity day in a life. Is there anything you want to add to it? What's your favorite part of the Brivity day in a life? We'll just ask since everybody's heard about it and knows it.
You know what? To be honest, it's just getting in and doing something, because So often I feel like we get overwhelmed because we can't get all the way through it. And it's like if every single day you just do something, you create momentum. And we overthink it and we beat ourselves up. Oh, I didn't get through it all. I'm just not going to do it. I don't win at that. But the truth is you're working to create consistent rhythms. So if every day you're getting to the first two, awesome. It's just a matter of creating consistency in anything that you want to succeed at.
Okay, what are some of the other standards of your team that others could, as we say, R&D, right, rip off and duplicate there?
You know what? Everything is very systematic. The more simple that we can make things, the more actionable they are. I see a lot of teams make things really complicated. My brain does, I cannot think complicated. Like, make it simple for me so that I have no excuses. And so, everything from action plans to, the way that we're operating our day, don't overcomplicate it. I used to go into the weeds of, well, this lead came from this source, so it needs a certain action plan with certain words. And it got so complicated that I wasn't executing well. And I went back and I revamped everything to just simplify. If I don't know them, this is probably the conversation I'm going to have with them, regardless of where they came from. If I do know them, it's going to look like this. And so I just went back to foundational basics. Writing the letters, writing the handwritten notes, the things that I did when I was a brand new agent, and just reinforcing that, because we get in the weeds with all these shiny tools and all the all the things we can be doing. And at the end of the day, the things that work best are the foundational things, even
And now
after
you can
20
just use
years.
ink to send those handwritten note cards so you don't have to write them
It
anymore.
works so well, it's genius.
Yes, folks, if you haven't checked out Inked, check it out as a way to send handwritten note cards without you having to write them and sit there all night filling them in. Okay, so we've got standards on the team, and standards matter, right? And keeping it simple, stupid, right? We know the KISS method, and
Yeah.
we've heard again and again, we overcomplicate things to justify our inaction,
Yep.
right? Stop making it so difficult for yourself. The easier you make it, the more likely you are to do it, which then will bring you the results
Yeah.
that'll come from it. Okay. There's another thing in your notes here that I've just got to dive into because I have this feeling it's going to fill our last 10 minutes here that we have in the call. Your grandmother?
Yeah.
Tell me about Grandma Claire here.
Oh, the lessons I've learned from her. So she's 99. She'll be 100 in May. And she is this
You're going to
last
have
week.
Al Roker give her a shout out, I'm
I
hoping,
know,
right?
I know. She's crazy. She's where I get my crazy from. Um,
Oh, well, here's hoping she comes back soon because I want to hear about Grandma Claire. And in the meanwhile, are we still like, it says we're recording. Are we broadcasting? Anybody out there? Type something in the chat box. Let me know someone still hears us. Anybody? There we go. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do a song and dance. There we go. She's coming back. Here we go. You're muted. Come on back and tell us about, oh, wait. Unmute yourself and tell us more about your crazy grandma.
I can't believe my phone. I thought I had it on Do Not Disturb. My crazy grandma, 100 years old, camping on the mountain, still looking at real estate. She's been in real estate for like 75 years or something. And a few months ago, she was at open houses and all kinds of things, just shopping for real estate. It just keeps her going. But she has been a huge influence on all things real estate. She didn't have the systems and the tools that we have to make it so easy now. And she's just dumbfounded by the way that we can scale things when she used to have to go to the MLS book and handwrite the contracts and things like that, but
Yep.
still using the same foundational principles that she used that I learned from her years ago. But she's out there at 100 years old, still doing it and still investing in real estate, still has many rental properties going, passive income. And it just reminds me, again, the foundational things. Like, you don't have to be, people get so stuck on, well, I can't use all the technology, or I don't know technology well. Like, at the end of the day, do what you do well. And she was always great at relationships, just getting out one to one, face to face. But yeah, she's still out there doing it, and she's fearless, which has, I just watch her, and she tries anything that she wants in life, she'll try. She's not afraid to try. It's okay if she fails. At least she tried. And it's just gotten her very far in life and been super. It's been a fun adventure to watch and be inspired by. It keeps my fear down because how can I make an excuse if she's out there doing it at 100, you know?
Okay, so folks, earlier in the call, you might have heard Kristen say it. Earlier in the call, she said, right, you're not getting out of life, right? It's happening. There's only one way out of life, and that's when it ends. Okay. So you have a choice. You could be that person or you could be Grandma Claire, right? Which person do you want to be? There's the right, I want to go screeching into the grave, right? Sliding in right at the end. Okay, I don't care how you get there, we're all going to end up there.
You may as well do it that way.
There you go. Have some fun on your way
Yes.
there. Okay,
Yes.
so I'm hearing some lessons from Grandma Claire that have obviously been passed down to you. One I heard in there, don't have fear,
Yeah.
because what's the worst that can happen? Now, Grandma Claire started real estate when they did just sit in an office and people came to you. There was nothing called lead generating back then, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't how it worked. And it's completely transformed. So some of her lessons aren't necessarily the same, but creating relationships. What if I forced you right now to teach a class, the 4 lessons Grandma Claire has taught me to bring me success? Don't have fear.
Yeah. I would
Create
say,
relationship, you said.
yeah, prioritize relationships. Like she always has been a people person who loved people fiercely and sincerely cared about them winning at whatever they're doing. That shows up in me running the team. That shows up in me winning in transactions. If I put them first instead of worrying about myself, all of a sudden word on the street is we can trust Kristen. She cares about us. She will take care of us. She will put us first. Then all of a sudden you become attractive and you don't have to recruit. I mean, you still put in the activities, but it becomes an attraction versus a actively going to try to hunt down all of the time. You're not having to go lead generate at the same level. You start to build this brand of, hey, that's a person who cares about me that I can trust. You made
And
a
that's the
comment.
dream business. Everybody wants their phone to ring inbound, not having to do the outbound. Yet, of course, you have to do the outbound to get the inbound. Yet, if you are authentically caring for others, the phone will ring more often on the inbound. Okay, so I've got don't fear. I've got purposeful, authentic relationships, love people. What else are you going to tell us if you were teaching a class right now on lessons from Grandma Claire?
I would go back to that idea of competition and say, quit comparing yourself to others. Go add value in your authentic self. Like she always ran together with people. She would win alongside them instead of looking at them and saying, hey, they're winning and I'm not. She won alongside them. She was authentically herself. And I think just depositing seeds every day of caring about people, something that she's always done. She has relationships across the country and we've traveled the world staying with friends and family, and I've never seen anybody else do that. But it was because she nurtured relationships regardless of where they were. And it was probably systematic, though I didn't pick up on that as a kid. Now with our systems, just every single day, that day in the life of Brivity is just about loving on people every single day consistently. And I like something that I do is every single day, if I see it's somebody's birthday, I'm loving on them. If I have nothing to say to them, but I just thought of them, I just tell them that. Like I'm just consistently planting seeds of, hey, I care about you. How are you doing? And I sincerely do, which is what she's always done. She's always loved people fiercely, and people remember how you make them feel.
Okay. So that's lesson 3. You got lesson 4 from Grandma Claire?
I would say prioritize. Prioritize. She would tell me, I would go to her house and I'm like, Grandma, your house is a mess. And she was like, you know what? My priority first is my children, and my house comes after that. I'm not gonna die one day and somebody gonna say, hey, do you remember what big of a mess her house was? She said, they're gonna remember the adventures I took you on. You're gonna remember going to Egypt and seeing the pyramids with me, not the newspaper on my couch. And I always remember her giving me permission to be imperfect in areas because the priorities were the things you wanted to focus on. And for her, it was always family first. And so I take that with me. And I actually was just on a morning call with my team, and one of my agents said to me, you know, what I do watch and take from you isn't necessarily in your words, it's in your actions. I've been told in this industry that you have to run crazy and be busy, and that I just got myself into this chaos and I was trying to get out of it in another industry. But yet I see you and you shut off the phone. I pick up my kids every single day at 2:30 from school. They go to school 4 days a week because that was intentional for our family, and we play 3 days a week. I didn't think that was ever a possibility in this industry, but with leverage of people and systems, and again building other people up and loving on them so that we all help each other, what he said was, I see that you've made it possible, and I hear from everybody else it's not. So that's something that I learned from watching her.
Love it. Folks, prioritize. Yes, that means your life.
Yeah.
And then that means the things you're doing each and every single day, because without lead generation, you don't have people to sell. So are you prioritizing that when you then get into it? All right, Christin, before I let you go, I'm going to want you to give everybody how they can get a hold of you if they've got a referral or they want to ask you more. Yet here's the one thing I want you to do for all of us here at the Brivity world and anybody watching this. We want you to go give Grandma Claire a hug from us and say thanks.
I love it.
Because she's clearly loved people authentically, and it shows through you. When I asked you to introduce yourself, the first thing that came out of your mouth is, I'm a mom and I'm a wife, right? You prioritize the things that matter, and you've learned it from having an amazing role model in her. Thank you for sharing her with each and every one of us. Now, if someone has a referral for you, if someone wants to reach out, connect with you after, what's the best ways for them to do that?
So two things. Her and I wrote a book about this and about building a big life through real estate called The Family Banking Blueprint. And you can go to thefamilybankingblueprint.com, which will take you to the Amazon link. And you can hear her words and her stories. She's such a blessing and so fun. To get me, ChristinKingsbury.com will get you to all kinds of ways to get in touch with me, emails, websites, things like that. So that would be
it's with a CH, not K.
Yep.
It's with a CH. And then it's with a K on the last name. So get it right as you see it. Christin, thank you so much for joining us today and helping our audience find out some of the things that they can do this to move their business and their lives in the right direction. We appreciate you taking the time.
It's my honor and my pleasure. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Thanks, everybody. See you next week.